Hello up there, faithful followers. This is my look at the brand new PlayStation 4 game, No Man's Sky, currently available on PlayStation 4 and soon to be released worldwide for PC. First off, I just want to say this game delivers in almost every single way it was built up to us. The largest fault I've found with it is that there's zero cooperative gameplay between us as gamers, at least on the surface. It's been hinted at by Hello Games founder Sean Murray that there are some multiplayer elements hidden beneath the surface, but in general he's stating that there isn't really that there because that was never really the point. It was more about surviving the journey to the center of the universe, whatever goal may lay there. But I kind of feel disappointed with that because I'm a veteran of fantasy MMOs and JRPGs, and I kind of envisioned the player base forming like a Battlestar Galactica-like universe. You know, establishing trade routes between planets, like economic alliances, intergalactic pirates being a thing, and other things. So needless to say, I'm disappointed that that wasn't there, but however, the game is still enjoyable in the sheer vastness of content it offers us. For fans of games like Fallout or Elder Scrolls, where exploration of the game world can take a back seat to the actual progress of the game's plot, well, this is probably the game you've been waiting for. Travel is in an infinite number of directions, an infinite number of worlds, creatures, and encounters to discover that are only going to evolve as gameplay continues. And on the subject of gameplay and the storyline, you're basically just randomly selected to land on a planet. I believe the last count was somewhere in the 18 quintillion level, and basically you start out by preparing your crashed vessel. When what this does is it basically walks you through the basic functions of the game and how to repair your ship, how to take care of your person on the planet's surfaces that you're going to be going across, because over time you'll notice your exosuit, the radiation, it doesn't, over time, the radiation protection it offers degrades. It doesn't protect you against certain toxic elements for so long. And you have a life support system, of course, because in fact, you're not going to be able to breathe on some of these planets without such things. And a personal shield. And you also come equipped with a jetpack, which makes transportating yourself around on foot a little easier in some cases, though it's very easy to take fall damage with it. But as you begin to repair your equipment, it also gives you brief tutorials on what each item does. Well, there's a scanner that you activate by pressing in the L3 button or the left analog stick, and it'll show you different beacons that indicate different resources around you. And you can also hold the L2 button, which triggers like a visor scanner similar to the one Samus uses in some of the Metroid Prime games to identify life forms and alien structures in your immediate view. And I personally recommend keeping carbon on hand to recharge your life support features of your exosuit, and to keep your multi-tool charged, because it honestly seems to be one of the most common elements you'll find in the field, and as such, with it being no shortage of it, it frees you up to sell your other elements for in-game units. The inventory user interface is simplistic though, and yet it's robust all at the same time. And to put it bluntly, it functions almost identically to the UI in Destiny. The biggest difference, though, is that unlike Destiny, where you're swapping out actual pieces of gear to improve your odds of survival, if you were to craft an upgrade to give yourself more stamina, it would actually take up a slot of your cargo space in your suit or your space shuttle, whatever it is you're trying to enhance. The shuttle and the multi-tool you use to mine your materials with can also be upgraded in similar ways, with each upgrade also taking up a slot in that item's own inventory space. And across the game, you're going to come into contact with alien races, and over time, and interacting with them, you'll learn words of their native languages, as well as finding different words in knowledge collectible containers on the planets themselves. And these traders are subject to actually gift you items to assist you, but you don't really know what those items are, or if that's going to be a thing, because you can't understand them right away. And oftentimes nearby where these alien creatures are, that's where you're going to find access to the in-game storefront, where you can sell off your elements and other items you found for cash to purchase stuff you might need to upgrade your vehicles, upgrade your weapons, etc. And however, one of the things that really stuck out for me and was touted a lot before the game's release was that there's a complete lack of loading screens. The only load screen I remember encountering was the title screen. It took a minute or two to actually load the universe proper after pressing the start button first time. But once that happened, everything was running flawlessly and effortlessly. Even in space, and transitioning between a planet's surface, going into space, and traveling to the next planet, there was zero lag, just zero load time. No load screens, nothing. I mean, as you travel through space, you'll find like asteroids and stuff like that in the path between yourself and other worlds. And flying through them feels like a more realistic version of the gummy ship sequences from the original Kingdom Hearts game. And the asteroids are completely destroyable with your ship's cannon, which lets you kind of mine them. It's kind of something to do in between planets, because you're honestly gonna look at quite a bit of distance if you're flying between worlds. I believe leaving off the first tutorial world and going to the second one I discovered, which I believe is the one I named Anthrax, that you'll see in the thumbnail for this video. That when I initially started traveling between the planets, it gave me a 4-hour flight time between Planet 1 and Planet 2. And I know that probably seems unacceptable for video game physics, but when you think about the vastness of actual space, and just our solar system, traveling between Earth and Mars, like, just to use that as an example, the New Horizons mission craft that NASA launched to check out Pluto at Mars's minimum orbit around the sun would have took a 942-hour one-way trip from Earth to there, or 39 days. And that is, of course, assuming that the trip would be a one-way straight line at the speed of 36,000 miles per hour. But of course, those of you familiar with the physics of such a thing, calculating an actual flight through space gets more complicated than that, as everything in the universe is constantly in motion, and as such, the trajectory of the flight would have to be adjusted to compensate for the universe's constant state of motion. That distance between worlds and space stations actually becomes necessary to grant that sense of realistic spaceflight in our game. And even still, the game flows through it all so smoothly. That's a technical marvel. And I've heard there's stories of that there's going to be space combat and stuff like that. I would love to comment on that. However, I have yet to actually experience that myself with my 4 hours of gameplay. And everything from the graphics, the mystery of the new worlds, the allure of making contact with alien races, it all has this way of drawing you in and making you crave more. And I'm not going to lie to you, my day today was pretty much ruined. I was supposed to be spending more time cleaning my apartment, and I sat down to record the footage you're seeing behind my text here. And that turned into a 3-hour ordeal in no time. I honestly did not even realize I had spent that much time playing the game. And it's such an enjoyable and immersive experience. I can honestly say I very highly recommend it. And even without the multiplayer features, it's still a wonderful challenge, and it's still a wonderful experience. And there's just something about, naming planets and life forms on them, and traversing these amazing worlds that is just breathtaking. It's so immersive, and it will suck you in. And there's so much I want to say. There's so much I would love to be able to explain, but it really is beyond words, and how unique this game is in scope and in practice. But I definitely recommend that, if nothing else, go on Twitch, find somebody streaming the game, or even with my video behind me, just get a good feel for what it offers you. Because I promise, for right now, there is nothing greater on the PlayStation 4 console. And that's going to be the extent of my review for today. Like, comment with your own adventures in the vastness of space below. Let me know what you think of the game so far. And feel free to share this video with your friends. Hopefully it might convince them into giving the game a shot. Because trust me guys, it's really, really, really worth it. And as always, thank you for watching my video.